Welcome to PsychicJulianna.com newsletter. As you know, I'm Juliana.
I'm Nicole. Hey, face to the name.
Finally, yes. Okay, so this week's newsletter, what I wanted to do was to focus on how it is that if you have a look at your environment and how it's set up and how it plays out for you, and how that really does contribute, all right, to you having a really nice calm essence about yourself, which I'm a bit of a maniac, so I don't always quite achieve that. However, if they say that you are what you eat, then what's lurking in your cupboards and how does that reflect on you? So I believe if you have a fairly tidy environment, it also means that you have a tidy brain work. It also means that you have tidy soul, in that you can develop a lot more comfortably. So Nicole is going to be coming along to give us practical tips, because I'm not really practical on this at all.
You're a bit strict on it, but
a bit strict.
From my perspective and learning about it as I've gone along, the reality is, and working with Juliana, the reality is that you actually live the way your brain's functioning. So that sounds a bit confronting, but think about the environments you spend most of the time. Think about the way your desk is set up at work. Think about the way your kitchen's set up. Think about the way your bedroom's set up, and think about the way your wardrobe's set up. We're actually going to look at very practical examples today. There's no right or wrong way, but you recognising the way you operate means that you can really set your environment up to work very comfortably and more maximised for you.
So with that in mind, welcome to your brain and your soul. Let's go for a walk. Come on. Okay, so for example, I'm just going to be walking you around my house, and I'm going to be torturing my partner as part of this, to be able to show you just the difference in thinking. Now, from an intuitive profiling perspective, which is what my background was, what we do is we have a really good look at how you set up your environments, because it's a very, very, as Nicole said before, a really good indicator of the way you think, you feel, and you express. Part of this will also show you why certain things irritate you with your partners and your friends, and why certain things don't. And it's interesting because when you walk into, and again, we're using a physical home, okay, like fair enough, this is an actual home, but just imagine that this is your brain, and it's your soul, and it's all your mind space, all those little quiet voices that come in and out of your brain and your heart, because that's what your home is. You will all have your own little spaces within the home, and often we start to get a little bit frictious when we crash into those, and that's actually a very good representative, or I guess picture, of the way your brain thinks, because the truth is you have your own thoughts, your own feelings, your own emotions, and at some point someone smashes into those. So I'm going to walk you around this property so you can see where are my spots, where are my partners, where are the kids, and then have a look at how you're able to keep those apart, mostly through the helper neck.
Before we go on, quick question though. You said at times things crash into it. Does that mean, is that why even messy people, for want of a better description, can actually get to a point where they can't stand their environment anymore and have to clean it up?
Absolutely. There's a word for that. Dirty people. No, I'm joking, because I'm a clean freak. I'm a clean freak.
You know, you can, I think all of us have a certain tolerance level.
It's
for
inundation.
Yes.
Like what actually happens is you get inundated. And how I equate that is also how, if you can be studying and learning and going through so much self-development and spiritual growth, that you get completely inundated. You know, so you're absolutely right that it doesn't matter how, and all jokes aside, being messy does not mean being dirty, okay? What it means is that you just space everything from in here all around your environment.
Yeah.
And the issue or the conflict comes in when you start spacing everything that's in here and in here in someone else's environment.
Fair enough.
And I'm going to give you example number one. Office. Nick knows how anal I am about my things.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just walk into my office. So whether you work from home or you actually work from somewhere else, it really does not make that much of a difference as to what you put into it. Now, some people would argue, because they'll go, you know, we can't have a nice big wog mirror in our place of work, or things like that.
Says who? Says perhaps a big open plan office. Imagine coming in with your own mirror.
And that's why we don't like open plan, remember?
No, it doesn't work.
We don't like it. So, but the catch is that what happens is that you will always put into your environment, A, what feels safe and comfortable and appropriate, and B, what is reinforced within the work ethic for that to be allowed. Obviously, I mean, this is my domain, so I can to a large degree do what I want, but I'm also conscious I do have people in and out, so I try to make it comfortable for me, but also be aware of them. Now, the thing is, again, doesn't matter whether you work from home or not, it's all about your creative flavour and your space. So, for example, when I'm at Nick's, I love that Nick has like the massive collage, our outcome board. I love that it's right above the desk because it's all about inspiration. So it's all about how you set it up. The thing is, just imagine that this is your creative zone, okay? And you're in your creative zone. And what happens is someone comes in and they jig it up a little bit. So you've got to be really aware of how people move in and impact. And it's not about it being, I guess, on the negative. It's more just about the fact that you need to be very articulate about what are your private zones and why are they important to you. And again, because this is my sphere, I guess, where I get to tune into my guides and be able to download information, I get uncomfortable when people come in and they leave things. Example number one, just come over here and have a look. Now, this is kind of embarrassing to say, but that's actually not my headpiece. My son used it when he was cleansing his skin and came in to talk to me and left it there last Thursday. Yeah, so that's what, 10 days nearly?
That is a long time.
Yeah, a week, 7 days, sorry. Exhibit B is actually from my partner from 2 days ago. So these books, okay.
That's not me, not business partner.
No, sorry,
just
sorry,
let me declare.
living life Italian partner. And these books, okay, so if you can see, I've got just a few books here, and all of these mean something. And these in particular, I mean, you can see they're really old, and some of them are falling apart. But two of these were actually my grandfather's books, and they were given to me because they're all based around Judaism and some of the teachings of it. So I actually keep them, and then one is an English-French diary, which is actually quite interesting. But anyway, I keep these close to me because when I'm relaxing, or sometimes even when I'm just feeling a bit stressed, you know, if I touch them, I can actually remember everything about my papa. So I keep them. Now the thing is, I always keep them here. Why there? A, they're within reaching distance. B, they're actually protected from the sun. And I can visually see them all the time. So my partner comes in to explain something and picks them up and throws them around to explain a concept in his work, shall we say, and then he walks off and leaves it. Now, what frustrates me about this is it's not about the fact that someone's made mess. What it's actually about is that you have to understand where your space is and that you need to be able to set up the area that really reflects your inspiration and your creativity specific to you. That'd be fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't matter that that would work for your partner. What matters is that it doesn't work unless they're set up a particular way for you. So your brain space is not clean and clear if things are out of alignment. Some people would say that, you know, we're being totally anal. It's not about that. It's literally about having a system that works for you, identifying how your space is set up for you. And in my case, certainly with my desk, I know I have to get rid of distractions in order to make sure that everything I do gets focused on where it needs to go. So it's not about your system per se. If you like trinkets and things around, that's absolutely fine, as long as you know why they're there and the purpose that they serve, and that they're not a distraction but actually a plus to your environment. It doesn't matter what is there, it's got to work for you.
Yeah. So same thing, I need to get in and clean. These are my two major folders with work, and as you can see, they're absolutely full, and normally, as you know, they would be completely gone, everything's sorted out. So what that says to me is that I'm allowing a lot of external sources to come in and actually inundate me at this point in time. So I actually need to get on top of that, and I need to manage that, because none of those things should still be sitting there if my creative juices are flowing, I'm completely on top with my work, my workload, where I'm going. So what that says to me from a profiling, like an intuitive perspective, is that I have to make sure I reduce any of the outside areas that could possibly be detracting or interfering in what I'm doing for myself and for us as a business.